Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello everybody, happy Tuesday. So today I am jumping on live because I am talking to you today about exfoliators like facial scrubs and facial polishes, and why do we even need to use them? Because a lot of people kind of go, what's an exfoliator and when do I need to use that? And I know from experience of working as a beauty therapist for many, many years, people used to come in and we used to talk about the skincare and, how are they finding the products they're using at home, and we would discuss all kind of concerns. And one of the things that 99% of people would completely miss out on was exfoliating their skin. Good morning, everybody. Say hello if you're watching me live. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So today we are talking exfoliators and facial scrubs, polishes, whatever you want to term it. Now, what I obviously have said on all previous videos is the brand that I love and adore, that I've worked with within my business for years, is Neal Remedies. So when I kind of talk about specifics, I will relay the information regarding Neal. But kind of like, as always, the information is transferable. So, whatever you've got at home could be absolutely perfect for you, okay? So, like I say, a lot of people actually don't exfoliate. And the reason they don't exfoliate is normally because they don't understand the importance of it. Now, when I was trained at college a long time ago, 1992 to 1994, one of the kind of key steps in a professional skincare routine was to exfoliate. So we actually spent a lot of time studying the skin and what happens to the skin as it rises up. Oh, we're back. Fingers crossed. Sorry, the must be the snow today. The internet is not happy. So if you've managed to stick with me, thank you. Hopefully the signal will hold out. Fingers crossed. So yes, a lot of people used to come in and we used to discuss the skincare concerns, and often it was very much, they didn't exfoliate because they didn't understand why it was so important. And like I was saying, at college, when we were taught how to do a professional skincare routine, the key step was very much exfoliation, understanding the skin, and understanding why exfoliation is super important. And actually that's something I want to share with you today, because I think if we understand the reason, the benefit of doing something, we're more likely to do it. If we're just kind of told, oh, just do this and use that product without any explanation, you kind of think, well, why? Why do I need to use it? And then if it doesn't have significance, the likelihood is you might forget to use it. So exfoliation really kind of works on the surface layer of the skin. It's very much about removing the dead skin cells that are sitting there that would naturally eventually come away through washing, through cleansing, through touch, on the pillows, putting your clothes on and off and what have you. They will naturally come away, but they're not actually that easy to come away. They're quite tightly packed together. And what happens with exfoliation is when you have a lack of exfoliation in a skincare routine, the skin can look quite dull, it can look quite dry, it can look quite dull and sometimes a little bit bumpy, sometimes a little bit sallow, sometimes a little bit kind of unhealthy in the look and the appearance of the skin. And that's because actually what you're seeing is actually the dead skin. What you see on the surface, what you see when you're looking at me, is ultimately dead skin. And sometimes if you don't exfoliate, it kind of lingers for longer. And the downside to that is that if you actually are starting a routine, or you have a really brilliant skincare routine, you're obviously investing time and money and energy into looking after your skin, choosing brilliant products, having a skincare routine. But if your skin is being blocked, so if the dead skin cells are sitting on the surface, blocking where all the new skin is coming up and is literally at its best, the products that you put on the top can't actually penetrate down, do their job in the lower layers of the upper layer of the skin. So exfoliating is really important in a professional skincare routine, because lifting away all of that dead skin reveals the new, the plumper, the more radiant, the glowing, the healthier skin that sits underneath. And also, therefore, it's easier for the products then that you use on top. So the serums, elixirs, essences, moisturisers, masks, whatever the case may be, can actually be more effective because they don't have to try to penetrate dead, sticky skin cells that sit on the surface. So exfoliating is brilliant. It removes the dead skin. It improves the skin's texture. So often as a working therapist, I can tell if somebody exfoliates or not because the texture of the skin is different. Skin can often feel a bit bumpy, a bit grainy, a bit dry. Sometimes it can even look flaky and uneven. Once you've exfoliated and you exfoliate regularly, the texture of the skin actually improves. It becomes smoother, it feels softer to the touch, and obviously because the products are getting down, being able to penetrate down into the skin's condition is actually much more better. Is that even English? Much more better. It's much better. And I often get people say to me, oh, your skin's really nice. You know, I'm 47, you know, I've got combination skin, I've got oily patches, I get spots. Obviously, I've got fine lines and what have you coming as well. But actually, my skin is quite a well-textured, even skin tone. And I do put a lot of that down to having a skincare routine, but also making sure that that regular exfoliation takes place at least once a week. Also with exfoliation, it's fantastic to help with the radiance. So as we age, we lose that natural luminosity to the skin, and I'm probably sure that you've noticed that if you're over 40. And a lot of that is, again, because the light that is refracted from the skin is hitting dead skin cells. Soon as they are removed, it kind of responds differently. So you get a nice glow. Also, the more that you do with your skin, the more products and the more kind of techniques you use in the skin, the more the skin gets nourished from within. So when you actually massage the skin and work products into the skin, you'll notice that you'll get like a slight pinkness or a little bit of redness to the skin. That's okay. It's called erythema. It's a natural process that happens because you actually are stimulating the circulatory system, the capillary network that sits beneath the skin. So if you're doing that regularly and you're waking up your circulation, you're going to get a much more rosy glow to the skin naturally. But also, if you think of the science behind that, when you bring new blood and new nutrients to the skin, you feed it. So you are actually kind of speeding up the skin's feeding process. You're sending the circulation, you're increasing the circulation to the skin, which is bringing with it all the nutrients, all the vitamins, all the minerals that your skin needs in order to be healthy. So by actually working on your face, you not only work on a topical level, which is the surface level, you're actually working on an internal level as well. So from a longevity kind of perspective, your skin will look better and better and better the more you do. Now, exfoliation isn't just for older skin, it isn't just for drier skin, it is very much for all skins, whether it's acne prone skin, whether you've got combination skin, whether you've got dry patches, dehydrated skin. Exfoliation is very much for everybody, but you might want to choose the right exfoliator that feels good on your skin, that works well with your skin. It's brilliant for remove the dead skin, which also helps to unblock pores. So when you've got a pore like that in the skin, but you've got dead skin cells kind of sitting and blocking that pore, that's when we often get a spot or a pimple, okay? So actually one of the best ways to help support and treat spotty skin, acne skin, hormonal skin is to regularly exfoliate, because it just lifts off the dead skin, which helps to almost kind of make sure that the pores are as open and as free to breathe as possible, so they don't get clogged. So I've kind of talked to you a little bit about, you know, why, how beneficial is exfoliating. So I'm kind of hoping you're thinking, yeah, it is pretty beneficial. It really is a step that can really level up your skincare. So whatever skincare you use at home, bring in an exfoliator. You can get all sorts of exfoliators, so you need to find the sort that suits you, that works for you, for your skin, for your needs, for your routines, for your time, etc, etc. And it's important to kind of just bear in mind that sometimes you have to try a few exfoliators to actually find the one that really does work well with your skin. I always used honey and orange exfoliator in all of my facials. So regardless of the skin type, regardless of the skin condition, regardless of the client's age, this was my go-to exfoliator. Now, the only time I stepped into the other exfoliator that Neal does, which is a rehydrating rose, if I've got somebody that I've used this on a few times and she says, actually, I'm finding it really aggravates my skin and my skin feels a bit sensitive afterwards. And if I've ever had that, which has been very, very rare, but you do have some skin types that are hyperreactive and hypersensitive. And the honey and orange is beautiful. I mean, it smells divine. It literally smells edible. That is what it looks like. This is my jar. But sometimes an exfoliator could just be a little bit too strong for a specific person. And the rehydrating rose polish, so this is a scrub. The polish comes in a tube, has more of a gel, a liquid kind of texture to it. Whereas this is what I call very sticky and stodgy, which means you actually get a much better exfoliation. That's for another day. But the other one is just a little bit lighter. It's got a little bit more kind of movement to it when you apply it to the skin. So if you have got somebody with really sensitive skin or hyperreactive skin, or has found this one is just a little bit too much, or they want to use this maybe once a month and use the other one more regularly, then the polish is an option. So, how often do we exfoliate? Well, if you're under 40, your kind of cell renewal is around 28 to 35 days. So about 4.5 weeks-ish, something like that, maybe 5 weeks tops. Which means from the moment that the cell is actually created right down deep in the cellular layer, it takes that long until it actually sits to the surface of the skin and is dead, okay? So when you're younger, that process of cell renewal is quite speedy, it's quite quick, it's quite effective. As you hit 40, as most of you will know, as you hit 40, the systems of the body change. We have estrogen receptors all over our body, all in the different organs and in our skin. And one of the things that actually changes is the speed of cell renewal. So that's why things take longer to heal sometimes, and that's why skin can look quite dull and quite lifeless. And the cycle can be sort of 6 to 7 weeks of a cell renewal. So over 40s, sometimes you might find actually it's more beneficial to exfoliate twice a week. And I would always suggest that you leave maybe 3 days in between exfoliation, so you allow the skin to kind of calm down, settle, be rejuvenated with the products, rebalance itself, and then you can then exfoliate again. How do you exfoliate? Well, this one, honey and orange scrub, is brilliant. It's really thick. If I just try and scoop it out for you, it's really like a thick paste. So with this one, as a working therapist, what I would do is I would actually have a bowl of water, and you could do this yourself in the sink. Dampen down your face. You don't want to be like water dripping off of you, but dampen down your face. Get your scrub onto your hand, on a dry hand like this. Take your other hand, rinse it under the tap so you've got quite a wet hand, and then start to rub this product into both hands. And what you will find is it'll go a bit milky. Okay, so the consistency will change. And then once it's milky and you're happy, then you apply it to the face. And you kind of want to work all the way along the jaw, the chin, around the mouth, around the nose, around the forehead. And then just rinse off. So with this one, that is how you would apply it. With the wild, with the rehydrating rose polish, because it's got more of a gel texture, it's more fluid in the tube, you can dampen down the face, you can dampen down the hands, but not have anything too wet, because you've actually got quite a lot of slick when you use the polish. So Again, you can just work it in about a minute or two. Go with how your skin feels, go with what works for you, and then just rinse off and then continue with your normal skincare. So you might want to tone after it, or you might want to go straight on and use an essence, a serum or a moisturiser. So super easy. I will pop the link for the two products, the scrub and the polish, in above this video for you. They are both £22. Which I think is amazing value for money. They both contain essential oils. They are natural, they are beautiful, and I would say, oh God, I've had this, how long have I had this? So I probably exfoliate on average maybe every four days ish, something like that. So I use this probably 4 or 5 times a month, maybe a little bit more, maybe 6 times. This lasts months, months, probably 6 months, maybe even more. Obviously if you're only using it once a week, then it's going to last you longer. So it's definitely a great price point, but you also get a really good amount of longevity out of the product as well. And because these are very pure, very natural, really prestige products, please use them sparingly. Less is more, not more is more, okay? You don't need loads and loads of these products going onto the skin. It's all about getting the correct amount for you. So just practice, pop in a little bit, see how that feels. If you feel you need to add a little bit, add to it. Just don't kind of pile your hand full of a load of product, because most of it will be wasted. It won't be needed for the skin. So there we go. I can't tell if there's any questions because the signal down here, as you gathered, is not very good. So I will check if there's any questions when I go into the house. But thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Like I say, I'll pop the link above. And if you've got any questions about exfoliating or exfoliators, then feel free to pop me a message and I'll do my best to help you. So thank you for being here. Have a beautiful day. It's a bit snowy here. It's very cold. Have a beautiful, safe day. Keep warm. And I will see you all very soon. Take care.